Thanks for joining us right now. Let me go to Steve McMahon. This view of this whole thing, who are you with?
I'm with nobody.
You absolutely, okay, let's call it as a Democrat. You're a Democrat, unhyphenated.
Unhyphenated.
What about this debate? He just took a shot at Bernie's socialism. Bernie says I'm a democratic socialist in the Northern European model, you know, Denmark socialist, Swedish socialist, no threat there. He identifies it with the worst kind of socialism.
Right. And frankly, I mean, I think it's a little bit of a you know, it's a red herring because nothing Bernie's talking about is outside of the sort of progressive agenda of many Democrats. In fact, outside of the progressive agenda of probably about half the Democratic Party right now, because that's about what he's getting.
How do you give free tuition to all the big state schools in the United States without controlling their spending, controlling the schools?
Well,
you can't give them all the same amount.
The same way you do high schools and grade schools in states all across the country today. You just expand it for 4 more years. I mean, there's nothing socialist.
If you pay the University of Michigan how much they charge for tuition, the federal government writes the check, right? It's a single-payer system for higher education. How do you control that? Suppose somebody in the University of New Hampshire says, we want the same amount of money you're spending at Michigan, the same amount of tuition you're spending at Berkeley. And the federal government says, well, the schools aren't quite the same. How do you get it? Who decides that kind of thing? Somebody in Washington.
Well, maybe somebody in Washington, or maybe they're block grants to the states. The Republicans love to do that. Maybe Michigan, based on population.
That's not what Bernie's offering. Bernie's offering free tuition. I just wonder how you administer it. It's a question.
I honestly don't know how you administer it, but I think it's not as big a problem or as big a challenge as some people would make it out to be.
I think it's going to be fascinating when they decide this school's not as good as that school, or you can't build that football field, you can't build that student center. The federal government starts doing that. It'll be interesting. Anyway, fair enough debate. Thank you. Steve McMahon, I love arguing with you. Philip Levine, the mayor of Miami. We haven't had him before. And Steve McMahon, we've had him a lot. He's great.